In the beginning, we see Tokugawa and Sukune standing in the middle of the underground arena. Sukune expresses his thoughts to Tokugawa about someone who has been in Tokyo the whole time. As Sukune senses someone's presence, he turns towards the entrance of the arena. There he sees none other than the ogre, Hanma Yujiro. With an aggressive tone and expression, Yujiro calls Sukune fat just by looking at him. As these two men stand in front of each other, Tokugawa stands between them, introducing the ogre to Sukune. Meanwhile, in Sukune's mind, something peculiar happens. It was like looking at a gigantic habu snake. Sukune explains that the habu snakes have incredible faces. You can tell what violent, vicious animals they are just from their face. The bone structure itself has that fury built in, and they don't have to be angry to look that way. Their neutral expression is an angry one. Sukune felt the same thing when looking at Yujiro. The ferocity, brutality, and hatred seemed to be naturally etched into his face, with his arched eyebrows, forcefully piercing glare, and carnivorous, beast-like fangs. Sukune continues to explain that just like a glance at a race car tells us it's built for speed, or how one look at a blade tells us it's a tool for destruction, the briefest glimpse at Yujiro established beyond any doubt that this is a man who exists solely for combat. The weirdest thing Sukune points out, though, is Yujiro's height. Despite being around 190 centimeters, about 20 centimeters shorter than Sukune, Sukune still found himself looking up at him. Sukune steps forward for a handshake, introducing himself as Nomi no Sukune, the practitioner of ancient sumo. Yujiro, without wasting a second, grabs Sukune's cheeks with 2 fingers and slams him into the ground, taunting him, before calling out the strongest, "You should know where you stand." As Sukune lies on the ground, Yujiro mocks him, saying, "Try again in a million years." As Yujiro starts to leave, Sukune, still on the ground, raises his hand, grabbing Yujiro's attention. Sukune sits up, and despite Yujiro's reputation as the world's strongest creature, expresses sorrow for seeing Yujiro leave with nothing to show for it. Yujiro turns back, asking if Sukune really feels sorry for him. In response, Sukune pushes himself up from a seated position and takes his fighting stance. On the other side, Yujiro notes that Sukune's stance started from Sankyo, typical of a rikishi, and dismisses it as immensely boring. Tokugawa looks tense, realizing that Yujiro is accepting Sukune's tachiai head-on. As Sukune charges, he lands a powerful kick to Yujiro's abdomen, sending him flying into the wooden barrier. Yujiro bounces back effortlessly, hands still in his pockets. As Tokugawa looks stunned by watching Yujiro's counter, Yujiro remarks, "So that's what ancient sumo was driving kicks into each other." Sukune, on the other hand, is puzzled. When he kicked Yujiro, it felt like kicking tissue, like his legs swung through empty space. While Yujiro, unfazed, tells Sukune to prepare for what's coming next. As he immediately delivers a brutal punch right into Sukune's face, sending him further away, slipping his balance and crashing into the wooden barrier. As blood drips from Sukune's nose and Yujiro mocks him, "Isn't it an outright lie that a rikishi never falls?" Despite this, Sukune remains standing, though barely conscious. Yujiro turns to Tokugawa and asks if he really thought Nomi no Sukune could defeat him. Tokugawa sincerely apologizes for drawing Yujiro from his leisure but points out that Sukune is still standing. Though the ogre landed a devastating blow, Sukune did not fall. Tokugawa even suggests that if Musashi were there, he would marvel at Sukune's incredible temple of flesh. As Yujiro heads toward the exit, he tells Tokugawa to inform Sukune that he'll be back to play with him again when he regains consciousness. Tokugawa, with a chilling expression, remarks how compassionate Yujiro is. But Yujiro abruptly stops, threatening Tokugawa, if he says another word, he will do something Tokugawa won't be able to bear. Shocked, Tokugawa wonders if Yujiro would really harm an elder like him. After Yujiro leaves the arena, Sukune regains consciousness and sits by the wooden barrier. Tokugawa asks him how it felt to face the world's strongest creature. Sukune answers that he never would have imagined such a being could exist. This encounter between Nomi no Sukune and Yujiro Hanma serves as a powerful exploration of the themes of strength, endurance, and humility. On the surface, it might appear to be a straightforward clash between two titans, but the fight holds deeper meaning. Sukune's initial perception of Yujiro reveals an instinctual understanding of the menace and primal power Yujiro embodies. The comparison to a habu snake, with its naturally furious expression, captures the essence of Yujiro's inborn ferocity, suggesting that he is not simply a man of extraordinary strength, but a creature who naturally exudes combativeness and dominance. As the confrontation unfolds, Sukune realizes that Yujiro's power is far beyond what he initially anticipated. Despite being shorter in stature, Yujiro exudes a presence so overwhelming that Sukune, for a moment, feels as though he is physically looking up at him. This serves as a metaphor for Yujiro's position in the hierarchy of strength, someone who exists on a level that transcends even the most formidable opponents. When Yujiro effortlessly smashes Sukune to the ground, the battle begins to feel less like a contest and more like a lesson. Yujiro is not merely overpowering Sukune, he is demonstrating the vast difference between them. The taunts Yujiro delivers after tossing Sukune around further emphasize this gap, as he tells Sukune to reconsider his place in the world of combat. The brutal punch Yujiro delivers to Sukune's face, which sends him flying across the arena, reinforces the notion that Yujiro's strength is not merely physical but psychological as well. His attack shatters any illusions Sukune had about his own power, but Sukune's ability to remain standing, even in an unconscious state, serves as a testament to his own fortitude. Tokugawa's admiration for Sukune's ability to withstand such a devastating blow speaks to the respect even the weakest combatants have for endurance, even when outmatched. As Sukune's realization that Yujiro is an almost otherworldly being, someone who exists solely for combat, brings a humbling conclusion to the encounter. Despite all of Sukune's training and natural gifts, he is forced to confront the fact that there are forces in the world far greater than his own. Yujiro's parting words to Tokugawa suggest that he may return to face Sukune again, but for now this encounter serves as a reminder of the unbridgeable gap that exists between the strongest and everyone else. In the world of Baki, strength is not just a measure of physical power but a reflection of one's place in the natural order, and for Sukune, Yujiro remains the pinnacle of that hierarchy. Well friends, that's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and like the video. Also, consider joining my channel membership for exclusive content and perks. I'll catch you in the next one.